The Nikon Z6III targets hybrid shooters who want strong stills and serious video in a compact full-frame body. Nikon gave it a 24.5-megapixel partially stacked sensor, the Expeed 7 processor, subject detection autofocus, pre-release capture, oversampled 4K, and internal 6K NRAW, making it a big step up over the Z6 II. By contrast, the Nikon Z7III is still unannounced. There are rumors and educated guesses, but no official specs or launch date from Nikon. Some industry voices even argue that a Z7 III may not arrive at all, because the Z8 already covers the high-resolution niche that the Z7 line used to occupy. That context matters, because any Z7 III comparison today must separate confirmed. Z6 III facts from Z7 III speculation. Historically, Nikon introduced Z6 and Z7 generations together, but 2024 broke the pattern when only the Z6 III appeared. Reporting at the time suggested Nikon might skip or delay a Z7 III, with commentary noting the Z8's existence reduces the pressure for a separate high-resolution Z7 class body. Rumor roundups since then place a possible Z7 III window somewhere in late 2025. But even those posts hedge that nothing is confirmed, and some of the circulating spec sheets are likely guesswork. In short, the Z6 III is a known quantity you can buy now. The Z7 III remains hypothetical until Nikon says otherwise. Nikon's Z6 III uses a 24.5-megapixel full-frame partially stacked BSI CMOS chip. The partial stacking speeds sensor readout without the cost of a fully stacked design, which helps rolling shutter behavior and enables fast bursts and higher-end video modes. Independent testing and reviews point to strong dynamic range and usable high ISO performance for its class, even if measured DR is a touch behind the previous model in lab charts. In practice, the camera delivers clean files and generous flexibility. The most credible Z7 III predictions suggest it would stick to roughly 45.7 megapixel like the Z7 and Z7 II, but potentially adopt a newer, faster architecture, possibly partially stacked, to compete with high-resolution rivals. Until Nikon confirms a sensor, treat anything above approximately 45 megapixels or exotic designs as rumor. The Z6 III inherits Nikon's latest AF logic, with Expeed 7, 3D tracking, and subject detection for people, animals, and vehicles. Reviewers found it a huge upgrade versus earlier Z6 bodies, with sticky tracking and dependable acquisition across stills and video. The camera hits up to 14 frames per second with the mechanical shutter and up to 20 frames per second in RAW with the electronic shutter, plus a 120 frames per second JPEG mode in DX crop, backed by pre-release capture to catch action just before you fully press the shutter. For a potential Z7 III, most chatter assumes further AF refinements, but whether it matches the Z6 III's speed or leans more toward resolution-first behavior is unknown. A Z7 class camera usually prioritizes detail over sheer burst rate, so expect competent AF and good subject detection if it comes, but don't count on Z9 level speed. Video is where the Z6 III punches far above its weight. It records internal 6K/60p in NRAW, offers ProRes RAW HQ, 4K up to 120p, and Full HD up to 240p, with robust assist tools and the color-rich DCI-P 3EVF, helping exposure and focus judgment. The oversampled 4K picture from the full sensor width is praised for detail and low noise, and the camera's rolling shutter readout is quick for its class. Speculation around the Z7 III ranges widely, from modest 4K 60 internal to ambitious 8K options, but there is no official word. Given the Z6III's already deep video stack and the Z8's 8K credentials, a hypothetical Z7III might land somewhere between, emphasizing detailed 4K and high bit depth rather than trying to be a mini Z8. Until an announcement, any talk of 8K/60p or internal ProRes on a Z7III remains conjecture. The Z6III's in-body image stabilization is rated up to 8 stops in favorable conditions, and it works in concert with Nikon's lens VER. The body design borrows ergonomics from higher models, with a deep, comfortable grip, dust, and drip resistance, and useful touches like pre-release capture and a responsive shutter feel. Reviewers generally call it a balanced, confidence-inspiring package for travel, events, and run-and-gun video. A future Z7III, if it comes, would likely inherit the same IBIS generation and handling improvements because these are platform-level features Nikon has already rolled out. However, whether it would emphasize lighter weight for hikers and landscape shooters or add more heat dissipation for video is unknown. Until we see a body, assume handling will be familiar to recent Z mount designs. In real-world mixed shooting, the Z6III's efficiency is competitive for a mid-range full-frame camera, and its thermal design supports extended 4K recording better than older bodies in the line. Lab-style CIPA numbers don't capture that hybrid workflow advantage, but field reports and reviews describe dependable performance across long sessions, with the option to power over USB-C in studio or streaming scenarios. For a Z7III, heat management would be a key question, especially if Nikon tried to add 8K or very high data rate recording in a compact body. Adding resolution often raises thermal load. Because we lack facts, it's safer to judge reliability on what's shipping today rather than what might come. At launch, the Z6III body was positioned around the $2,500 mark and has since been widely reviewed as one of the best all-round mirrorless options for the money. Guides as recent as 2025 still rank it at or near the top for hybrid creators thanks to its speed, strong autofocus, bright EVF, and deep video toolset. Rumored Z7III pricing, when mentioned at all, spans a broad range and lacks consensus, which reinforces that no one outside Nikon knows. If a Z7III appears, expect a higher price than the Z6III because of the resolution class and line positioning, but whether it undercuts or approaches the Z8 would likely depend on how ambitious its video feature set becomes.